disciples. Now today we're going to continue on our study on the minor prophet book of Zechariah. And yesterday we kind of had an abrupt ending because of time, but we shared with you how Zechariah had such a successful ministry in encouraging God's people to rebuild the temple, which they did, but Jesus tells us in the New Testament how they killed Zechariah. We don't have a lot of the details about that, but it leads me to this understanding. Your ministry in the sight of the Lord can be successful. You can do what the Lord wants you to do and still not have people patting you on the back and cheering you on. So if your ministry, if you're doubting the success of your ministry, you ask the Lord about it. Don't ask people, because you're going to get all kinds of different answers. Some of them may stab you in the back. Some of them may pat you on the back. But the real thing you want to hear is, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." And that you can only hear from Jesus. Now let's continue on our study of Zechariah. And today we're going to study about his message. The whole book is just chock full of different prophecies that the Lord gives him. In fact, he has 8 visions that he records in the book of Zechariah, and those are found in chapters 1 through 6. And then he has 6 messages that he gives that it records in his book, and those are chapters 7 through 14. And so you got to read through this. I mean, the visions, the prophecies, the things that the Lord shows Zechariah are just powerful. But the thing that really grabbed me as I've been reading through Zechariah is that several times Zechariah turns to either the Lord or turns to the angel that the Lord has sent to him to reveal to him certain things or to speak to him certain messages. And Zechariah often turns to the one that is delivering this message, be it the Lord or an angel, and he asks, "What are these?" I think that's very interesting and very important for us to look at. Don't just, when you look at something through the Word and it pops out at you, don't just brush over it and keep on going. Stop for a moment and say, "Lord, are you trying to show me something here?" And the Lord showed me something. See, often those who flow in prophetic ministry and those who are even prophets, they think that they have to really understand everything that the Lord is speaking to them. That is not the case at all. Oftentimes the Lord will show you something and you don't know what it means at all. Well, just answer up to that. When people say, "Well, what does that mean?" If you don't know, say, "I don't know." You can know that you have heard from the Lord and still not understand its meaning. Oftentimes when I read through prophetic books and I look at something, I think, now what on earth does that mean? Well, I'm sure that the prophets, the very prophets that the Lord was speaking to, they may have asked the very same thing. So don't you fall into the trap that you think that you have to understand everything. You're not God. God is speaking to you a message that he may want you to deliver. Oftentimes the Lord speaks to you things that you're not necessarily supposed to deliver to other people, but you're just supposed to pray about it. And you pray and the Lord does give you understanding. But the key thing here is don't fall into the trap that you think that you have to have an infinite understanding about all that the Lord speaks to you. Don't be afraid to turn to the Lord and say, "Lord, what does this mean?" Zechariah, read through the book, he often turns to the Lord and said, "What does that mean? What is that?" And then the angel said, "Do you know what this means?" And he says, "No, I don't." And then you say, "What did you see?" He'll say, "Well, this is what I saw." "What does it mean?" "I don't know." The joy of serving Jesus is that he's God. We're not. And he has infinite understanding. If he gives you understanding concerning something, good. But if he doesn't, then just own up to that and say, "I don't know, but I'm going to trust him." Let's talk more tomorrow.